What's up everyone? In this video I'm going to show you how to use scope in Python. Scope allows us to use certain things in certain places. So for example, if we declare a variable in one scope, we may not be able to use it in another. And this will make more sense as we get into an example here. So let me go ahead and clone the repo that I have set up for this, and I'll open up that folder, scope open, and let me go ahead and make a new file. We'll call this scope.py, and I'll set up a terminal. So if I do just this right here, so print hello world, and I run this program, so Python 3 scope.py, it prints hello world. This statement right here, print hello world, this is actually in the main function. If you are familiar with other programming languages, they oftentimes have a main function declared, and it's strictly typed. So you have to declare a main, or else the program doesn't know where to start. In Python, it just infers this. It infers that print hello world is in main. And basically any code that's outside of a function, it just defaults to being in main. So you can actually define a main in Python as well. So if you do if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals equals underscore underscore main underscore underscore and our colon, and then indent this so it's within the main. And now we run this program. This should run the exact same way. And that's because we've now defined a main. It's not necessary to do this, but it is something that you can do. Okay, so now that we understand a little bit about main, let's talk about functions. So if we do define func, and we'll just do print hello from function. So if I call the function, what we'd expect to see if I run this right now, it's going to print hello world, and then it's going to jump to function, or func, and then see print hello from function. So let me go ahead and run this, and that's what we see right here. So in this case, this print hello from function, or print hello from function, it's within func scope. And then once we return from func, we're back into main scope. So this may make more sense if we actually use numbers, or I'm sorry, variables that hold integers. So let's say x equals 10, and then we'll do print x from main. And then in func, let's do a variable, let's name this y, and then we'll just print y. So if we pass x to func right now, we would think that, we're going to have, so x equals 10, we're going to print x, so we'd get 10. And then we're passing x, which is 10, to the func, and then it's going to print 10. So let's go ahead and run this and double check that's correct. So we see 10 in both cases, right? Because we're just passing 10 into this func. Now let's do, from func, let's do y plus equals 1. So now we'd expect to see print here is going to print 10. Func is going to be called with 10. 10 gets passed to func as y. Y plus equals 1, so that's 11. So this should print 11. And that's what we see here. Now, the somewhat interesting thing, so let's say that we name this variable x as well. And this variable's x. Now, if we do a print x from main, what should we see? In this case, so x equals 10, so we're going to print x, so that's 10. Func, we're passing 10, 10 plus equals 1, 11. So we should be printing 11 right here. And then when we jump back to main, we haven't actually changed the x in main scope. We've only changed x in func scope. So we should print 10 again. So if we see 10, 11, 10, when I run this program like this, That's because when we're dealing with x, in this case up here, it's in func scope. But when we deal with x down here in main scope, they're two different variables, even though they have the same name. Alright, so now I want to talk about global scope. So if I remove the name and then move that code back over. So this code right here, right now we're passing the variable x into the func, and then it's given a different scope. But let's say that we wanted to just use the x from main. The way that we do this is we just say global x, like this. And this tells Python to look for a global declaration of main, which right here, when we declare it here, x equals 10, doing that in main, we now have a global variable that is named x. So in this case, if I run this program right now, so we have x equals 10, we would print 10. We call func, func's going to use the global x, which is still this variable. We'd add 1, and we're going to print x. This should print 11. Then once we jump back down to main, we've now modified the global x, so we should print 11. So if I run this here, we'll see that we have 10, 11, 11. And that's because we modified the global x when we did this x plus equals 1. And if you like declaring a main, you can have this if underscore underscore name equals the main. And this code will run the exact same. So you can have main declared either way. I prefer, unless I have to, I prefer to keep it just by default. That code that exists on this furthest left-hand side is main. It just defaults to main. But that's just my preference. You can do it either way, and sometimes you do. There are situations where it is very advantageous to declare the main, but I think it looks a lot cleaner to not declare the main. But that's just a personal preference. I hope this video provided value to you on how to use scope in Python. I know that this isn't a verbose video, but you'll get really good at this as you practice more and see more code. So I will upload, or I'll push this repo, push the code up to the repo and put the link in the description along with a link to my Discord server. If you have any questions, comments, want to contact me, other Python developers, it's a great resource to you. Once again, thanks for watching.